What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Relaxing Thoughts Podcast. I'm your host, Digital Relaxation, and we are back again for another episode. And this one is going to be multiple things. This one is a long overdue episode, and as well as a part 2. My first time doing a part 2 episode. Because there's a lot to talk about why this is happening. We're going to get into it. But before we do all of that, as always, you guys enjoy what you guys are going to hear on this episode and everything in the podcast. Be sure to share this, rate it. I believe you can rate 5 stars on Spotify and Apple, so the choice is yours. Alright. But so the reason why this is big is because I have a guest today. This I don't know how to even explain how this happened. Like, literally, it was I don't know. He's like fond of using the word fate. So maybe that's what it was. But yeah, if you'd like to introduce yourself to everyone so I can stop rambling.
What's going on, guys? It's Jake.
Yes. So before so let's start. I mean, shit, me and you've been basically hanging out like for the longest since you came back. So, but just for the listeners, I mean, what are some things you've been up to in your life recently?
Just trying to progress, move forward. You know, good things been happening, and just trying to roll with that in a minute. Linking up to, you know, me and you've been hanging a lot lately. It's kind of like, I won't, like, you know, I told you earlier, but obviously I've gotten into all of a sudden is creative writing. So that's what I'm really trying to focus on now. I've gotten really into that. So
yeah, I'm glad that you're doing that. Because I started doing that. It was actually me and Ace. Literally bored. I was still in. I don't know if he was. I think he was still in high school. But I do not know what he was doing at the time. But I was in the library waiting for my next class because, you know, I didn't have a car to just drive back home while I like wait between classes. Like, my class was like a good 2-3 hour separation from each other, so I literally had to be sitting on campus for like 2 hours until my next class. Yeah. So we just started like writing like our own story of like an alternate One Piece story. And I want to say I didn't really take it serious until I watched an anime called Rada, and it just inspired me to like create these adventures and these stories that I always wanted to, like, I guess, have, and just I just started spinning out to just doing different stuff. But yeah, it's definitely fun.
yeah, that's dope, bro.
Yeah, so I mean, so backstory of this podcast and the reason why this is a part 2. This is a part 2 to episode before the last, the one about building online relationships. I think that was episode 37. I had 2 guests on here, Rose and Bree, and we talked about basically how we all came to become friends through meeting each other on Amino and whatnot. And we took a moment to mention that there was you who had been MIA for literally almost a year.
Yeah, that's about right. Yeah, about a year.
And literally the day after we finished recording that podcast, this man just pops up like, yo.
and you question the fate, bro. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, what
yeah.
is the chances of that actually happening, bro? Like, I had no knowledge. We haven't spoken for nearly a year, and the day I've sort of tried to reach out to you is sort of the day you've just finished a podcast with Brie and Rose. I just thought that was crazy.
Bruh. Like, I was like, yeah, so I was doing my nightly, getting ready after I was done with the podcast. Cause, yeah, that one was literally last minute because it came out the next day. I had to edit whatever I had to edit. There was some parts that I still messed up on, whatever. But I just had to get it out. And then I'm like, all right, let me check my emails and stuff. And I'm like, oh, you got a message from Bandcamp. I'm like, wait a second. I'm like, I do not know who this person is because it's not a name that I'm familiar with. Then I go on and I see that message. You sound like, bruh, this man just literally came out. And I was still talking to them. I was like, yo, look who just came out of nowhere. So crazy. And
that's mad, right?
Yeah, and of course, the episode came out on the 23rd of February, but we recorded it on the 22nd, and that meaning of that whole schedule was 2. And it was like,
oh yeah, that's right. I remember you mentioning that. Yeah,
like the whole date was just 2, and then this man just pops up out of nowhere, like, oh, so I guess we're gonna basically talk about the similar thing and whatever else after. So
let's do it.
Yeah, the whole, like, your whole point of view, I guess, of everything that happened from before we met, leading up to when we met, and whatever afterwards.
Got you, bro. Let's do it.
Yeah. So where I don't know all the questions I asked. I don't have nothing written down. This is literally just so where were you? I guess I don't want to, like, I guess mentally, emotionally, physically, whatever. Like, where were you at before you joined Amino, and then what led you into joining Amino?
Bro, again, like you keep mentioning fate. You asked me the first thing is a story about that. It's like it's a bit of a deep one, but like, I was recently homeless before that. I went through a lot in my life in a very short period before that, and I guess after I came out of that, when I finally got a roof over my head and myself settled down, I guess a lot of emotional healing I had to do before. I didn't have time to heal from that. You know, I had to sort of carry the baggage and not even be able to process it during that period. So I feel like when I finally got settled down, I had a bit of stability in my life. That baggage came out, you know what I mean? Like, that baggage just hit out of nowhere. I was having like issues with a really important person in my life, you know what I'm talking about. You know, things going on with that. And it sort of dawned on me, I felt like I lost a lot. You know when they tell you when you hit rock bottom, that's it. You know when you've hit rock bottom, and that was sort of my rock bottom. I wasn't eating right, and I had pretty much no one at that point. I wasn't really talking to my parents. It was a real low point, and I was just on my phone. I wasn't really doing much, and I went browsing, and I saw I was looking to try and at least get a bit social, you know, try and get out of the slump a bit. And I saw Amino like sort of advertised, and it seemed from face value, it seemed to be like a social site where you've got a bit of anonymity to you, and you can join like fan groups of like Metal Gear Solid, Final Fantasy, Resident Evil, Silent Hill, etc. You have like different subgroups that you could join the fan group. I tried to do that. I tried to go into a Final Fantasy one. I felt they were a bit too heavy of fans for me, you know what I mean? And then I joined like some generic chat and meet, like just to have a chat. And they were all very young, so I'm like, this is even the right app for me. So like before I uninstalled it, I'm like, let me just check. So I've typed in adult, like not in a weird way, but you know, like looking for some sort of mature community here. And I bumped into AR, and I'm like, I mean, shit, why not? I went in, looked around, and this was when I joined. You and Rose I remember you and Rose being very prominent in the chat. You're two of the first people I met. Bree was always lurking. Bree was always about but never talking. But when I first joined, it was that's when I first met you and Rose.
Yeah, like it's just crazy, like how trying to find like different groups, like because I didn't join that group either when I first joined. I joined anime group, and I do not know. I think it was only an anime group I joined. I don't think I joined anything else. And then it was advertised like, hey, I got this. You know, like, all right. I mean, I'm not here for that. I'm just here to talk to people. But like literally, like what you also said too, like hitting your rock bottom. I mean, the comparison is definitely not close, but for me, I hit my somewhat emotional rock bottom. I don't think I really expanded upon it during that last episode, but so I mentioned that when I joined Amino, I had just came over my depression or whatnot, but leading to that was how I got over it was me honestly basically losing everything, in a sense, like everything that I was emotionally attached to. The person that I was real close to, I was upset with them, so I stopped talking to them. I wasn't really enjoying playing video games anymore. I wasn't enjoying watching anime no more. I literally spend my day just sitting there, like randomly clicking YouTube videos, like just having something there to like keep me alive, I guess.
Yeah, exactly the same. Yeah, spot on.
And before I joined Amino, I joined a game called Second Life, which is like a Sims type game, but it's online. You could talk to other people or whatever. And I met someone there, and he was cool. We were talking. Like, it was a good person. I was venting like some of my frustrations of what was happening. Like, me and this person not talking no more, whatever. And then one day they just they vanished, like no trace and no nothing. So I'm like, damn, I can't even hold friendships no more either, like the hell. So it's like, yeah. And then after I finally got myself together, I started that's when I started really getting serious into listening to podcasts and just hearing different people's perspectives on things, and just finding time to like just be with myself. I guess that's what it was. I finally had time to just be with myself and have nobody to talk to no more. I didn't have nothing to keep me occupied. It was just me. So then finally got over it. And while like you said, again with Faye, while that happened, she popped back into my life. And we just picked up where we left off. We became cool again. But I didn't want to repeat any mistakes we had, so I was like, I need to find a different outlet than constantly relying on her in case something like this happened again. And eventually Amino came into my life, and then history between all of us.
Crazy, yeah.
But yeah, like, yeah, but like I said, like, shit, I don't think that's why when I think about the stuff I go through, like, I don't like to really talk about it no more, only because one, I gotten over it, and two, like, I know there's people who have gone through worse. So like, when I hear your story, I'm like, bruh, like, it almost sounds like I have nothing to be depressed about, like, with the shit you went through. Like,
no, I know what you're saying. I do agree, but like, things affect people in different ways. I mean, I might have gone through something rough, but people have gone through even worse than me. You know, like, it affects people in different ways. It doesn't matter how big or small it is in the grand scheme of things. You know, you never know how it's going to affect someone.
Yeah, definitely. Like, yeah. So you eventually joined Amino. By this time, I was kind of I don't know what the word, a regular, I guess, there. By that time, Rose was being a regular. And then the Civil War arc happened when you came in.
Yeah.
So it's like a group of people came in like every time. So like I said, when I first came in, it was already a group of people there already when I came in. But they was like the most, like, out of everything, even though some toxic stuff happened, like, out of all the groups, I would say that was probably like the most innocent group in the beginning. And then Rose joined, Bree joined, Ledge joined, and a few more people joined, and everyone was being cool for a moment. And then you came, Kayla came.
The UK invasion.
Yeah, basically the UK just pulled up. Click, everyone just came out. Now like, oh, so then it just like, whoever was cool on one side was like already cool, and then whoever didn't feel like they had a spot to belong started finding a spot mainly with Kayla, because she was like, I don't know how to put the word, but like she was someone that everyone gravitated towards naturally, whether it's
100%, bro.
Yeah,
100%. Everyone was thirsting over her, man.
Yeah,
she was really cute.
Yeah, the guys were thirsting over her. Some of the girls were cool with her. Then some of the girls was upset with her because they felt that she was taking all the guys away. And
I'm not even being funny, right? We'll get into it, but bro, could you imagine if Cupcake and Kayla were about at the same time? Oh my god! Oh my lord!
That's the road dream match. Never stop.
You're not wrong, bro.
But yeah, so that happened, and I'm just sitting here chilling. Like I don't see the appeal, so I'm just chilling, just trying to talk to everyone and hang out. But I'm similar to Kayla, like in terms of like everyone gravitates towards me, but
yeah,
only like they know that it's like my intentions is like, hey, I'm just here. It's like I wasn't
just chilling, bro.
Yeah, I wasn't trying to like, hey, you mess with me, come over here, or I don't know. So, but eventually, the paths crossed between me and Kayla, and then a lot more stuff happened with you and Jenna. Which of course, the last episode we did not remember her name, but the person who
that was it. Yeah.
Her name was Jenna.
Oh yeah, wasn't he like the Hispanic guy? He was like quite south of. I think he was like California. He was claiming anyway. He was like a Hispanic dude who was trying to catfish her.
No, it was. I don't know where this person was, honestly, because it was weird. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Like I don't know about the actual person, but yeah, I don't know where these people were claiming they were from. I don't know.
Yeah.
But that's why I don't try to I look at everybody with the side eye until I got a reason not to type thing.
Yeah.
So like, even though I wasn't thinking they were like catfish, like I said, I don't know what they was gaining out of. I didn't know they was all one person, so I didn't know what they were gaining out of like these two trying to portray like this perfect couple and this dude just being here, and I'm like,
yeah, that's wild.
Even if this story is not real, I'm like, what's the point? But only to find out that they was all just one dude, I'm like, oh, okay, now it makes sense.
Some people got too much time, man.
Yeah. I don't know how this man had like 2 laptops set up with his phone.
Wild.
Alternating everywhere. I don't know how he was doing that.
But that's that. I think it wasn't long after I came in. It was the big split, wasn't it? Because of that, because of the catfishing. Jenna split off.
But that, and like I said, I think Jenna started beefing with Kayla a little bit for the same reasons. She felt like she was like always trying to get in between and stuff. And even though Kayla was trying to warn her about the catfish, but she didn't want to hear it because how she perceived Kayla. And I think you got involved with Jenna like almost afterwards, which I guess was not good for her because she still didn't even like get over that, and she just jumped into that.
Yeah, it was a bit mad on her part, definitely.
Yeah, there's a bunch of stuff going on. But yeah, after that, what happened? Eventually we just, after all the groups and Civil War split up, we finally decided to figure out who was our core group was. And at first there was a few of us. It was, us 4 with Cupcake and Click. And I wanted to say maybe that's it, to be honest.
I think that is it.
Yeah. Which is a weird thing about that now. Like we was outnumbered, so men. But yeah, and then we learned about your situation with Cupcake. I don't know if you want to expand on that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm more than welcome to, bro. Like it literally continues on because I split from the group because I didn't really talk to anyone in that group besides you. At that point, I didn't talk to Rose a lot because I didn't realise the time difference. But I spoke to Rose, but we weren't close. But I think the closest person I was with at that time was Jenna. And if she was having all the beef and issues and she jumped, and I'm like, I don't really talk to that many people here anyway, I might as well jump over. So I missed out on that whole period because I just left the amino, because you was already in Jenna's amino, I remember. So I used to talk to you on there.
Yeah.
And then me and Jenna I'm not even going to call it, we got together, but it wasn't really anything, you know what I mean? But we ended up going through our own issues there. I say it was over a game of Hearthstone. She'll probably say something different, you know, it's whatever. But we ended up basically having an argument over a game of Hearthstone. And then I've left. And I think I was just sort of, I've been like, oh, whatever, let me just go back into the other one. And I've gone back into the other one. And at this point, Kayla had left. And for about 2-3 days, it was basically dead. There was nothing happening. You weren't even about in there at this point. And then all of a sudden, after about 2-3 days, Cupcake and her group show up. You show up. Rose shows up again. I think Rose was just lurking mostly, but I think when everything picked up, Rose was in there a lot. And it's where I remember when Bree started showing up. And at this point, Bree was like a mod. And this is where I met Cupcake. And we hit it off at first because we were the only, because Kayla had left at this point, so we was the only English people there. So we sort of had that connection, you know, like, yeah, we're from England, everyone else is from America or wherever. And no, we hit it off really well. Like, we got on, we had the same music tastes. We would literally be up all night, like texting and talking, right? And it's like that's the thing, like, you hear that, you're thinking, like, blatantly, like, there's got to be something there, right? You'd think there's got to be something going on there. And so, like, I can't remember her boyfriend's name on there, but she never told me she had a boyfriend, one, and considering how close we was, you would think she would have mentioned something, you know. But I remember I spoke to the boyfriend. He was a really decent guy until I had this conversation. And I think this was the start of Civil War 2. I thought it was Cupcake's friend. So, and he was cool as hell because he was a big Resident Evil fan, so we bonded on that. And I just messaged him, said, like, I know you guys, you know Cupcake, and she's like, you guys came from the same amino group here, but I'm just like, I'm kind of into her, like, sort of, is she single or? So I'm basically asking her mate who I assume was her mate, if she was single or anything. And he was like, me and Cupcake have been together for about a year, mate. I'm like, oh, that's a bit awkward. And I'm the sort of person, like, yeah, cool, like, my bad. It happens, you know what I mean? I can move on. Like, it's no skin off my back. And I wish her the very best, you know what I mean? But it just, from that moment, it got awkward in the group chat, in, like, you know, the main chat. Yeah. Every time I would message, it was just awkward. It was either silence or they were trying to put some sort of snide remarks. I'm like, all right, cool. And at this point, Bree brought your amino chat back up, your pub. Hey. And this was the point where we all became really close friends. This was the start of it. Because I remember I was having issues in that main chat, and you wanted your pub back, and Bree was the new mod, so she was trying to get your pub back, and Rose was already friends with you. So it was all trying to get your pub back, and then because of the awkwardness in the main chat, I've jumped straight to your chat. And it was it was the day your chat came back, actually, this awkward conversation with her boyfriend happened. It was the day your chat came back. And I was just ranting in the chat about it, and the awkwardness started, and I didn't know what I did wrong. Like, okay, like, cool, you're together, like, leave it. I'm not going to try anything. Like, how insecure are you, bro? But, like, it was bad in that sense, but I feel like the best outcome was I met you guys from it.
Yes, sir.
But to also add on that, sorry, I do apologise, guys, on the pod, but I'm talking a lot today.
That's why,
this was the beginning of the issues with me and Cupcake as well, because Cupcake had a boyfriend, but she was also into me at the same time. She told me that she was into me, but felt really awkward. I'm like, all right, cool, but I'm not the sort of person that's going to try and, like, she's got a boyfriend, that's cool, like, so you're man. And at this point, me and Rose started getting a lot closer. Me and Rose started gaming because we were all in the chat. And then that's when me and Rose got together. And then when the issues with me and Cupcake started, weirdly enough, when she found out I had a girlfriend, I find that so ironic. Like, you have a boyfriend, I was into you, and there's all these issues because I fancied you and I left it. And I was a single dude, and I found someone and you got funny with me over it. I just thought that was hilarious.
I felt like I talked to her about it like privately, but I don't remember what her response was, and I clearly can't find out because she deleted her account, so that conversation don't exist no more.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, because that's when we was all in that little group. Like I said, it was like 6 of us, so we didn't know all of that. I think Cupcake was cool. Yeah, Cupcake was cool with Bree, so Bree brought her, and then of course Click Tag along with me.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah, so it was like, yeah, we all had that. We didn't know about all of that. And like, oh, shit.
Because I do remember the last time I spoke to Cupcake, you was trying to mediate it because the issues that happened with me and Cupcake, because she got completely funny with me being with Rose, right? Yeah. So I've just left it. She'd had all these issues. I had no issue. And then you tried to mediate it, and you brought her into a chat. We just ended up kicking off. And it was a real shame because she was a lovely girl. She really was.
Yeah, she was. But struggles.
Yeah, legit.
So this conversation can go 2 ways. I don't know which one we want to go with first. We could talk about your path afterwards, or we could talk about fate.
Bruh. The path afterwards, I thought there's not a lot to cover, really. I would say you would probably get a better conversation out of fate.
Alright, well then let's quickly go with the path afterwards so we can get to fate longer.
Yeah, sure.
So, as we mentioned, that you vanished. No, that should sound so wild saying that shit. You went on your hiatus for about a year, but for more context for a lot of people, this is something, not to put you under the bus or anything, but this is something that's like common, that became common. Like, you know, you would usually be in the chat, we all having a good time, the next day we pop in the chat and we see you gone, and we had to keep bringing you back in, and you and because for the most part you wouldn't really tell, well, you wouldn't tell me, like, so me and you, I talked about it in the last podcast, like, me and you don't really have deep conversations like that. So I didn't, like, you know, you came back, made it seem like it was nothing. Like, all right, this man just popping in.
Yeah.
And like, well, cool, whatever. You know, take your time, do what you gotta do. I know we all were going through our things.
Yeah.
That's how we bonded. Then, so last year, literally, I think on my probably before my birthday or on my birthday was like the last time we conversated. Yeah, on my birthday is the last time we conversated last year. And
I can't remember. I think it's around, I think maybe a little bit after your birthday. I think it was around that time though, yes. Yeah. Definitely around then.
Yeah, so we were talking, I was like, yeah, we should get this podcast going, we should do an episode. And literally like the last thing you said to me, you were like, yeah, like, no, I'm ready whenever you're ready. I'm like, all right, so everybody get this done. And then silence. And then I'm like, all right, I don't know what's going on. And then like a few days later, I sent a couple of things to the chat, but you know, the check marks never showed that. I guess you didn't read it or whatever. So I'm like, oh, this man gone. So like, all right, well, that's that. So you want to talk about? Yeah,
I mean, I can go into it. If you got any questions or anything I say, just jump in. But that was the start of, I won't say her name, but you know the last one, the last girlfriend I had. Yeah.
Well, a question before we go into that.
Go for it.
Like I said, because I didn't know too much, or if you ever addressed it. The earlier one says what was those reasons? Like when you got when we had to keep forcing you back into the group and whatever. Wow. What was the cause for that?
I don't know. I couldn't answer it. I don't know. I feel like I was still going through a lot of stuff I needed to work out. I feel like I still had a journey to sort of go on. And I don't know, I just felt like I had to be on my own for a while, you know? And it was around this period where my last girlfriend came into the picture, and from her, I just didn't want to be around anyone. Like it was just so toxic. And you know what? It's also my own insecurities about my past and about people I've been really close with in the past as well. Like I'm not trying to make it a woe is me, it's life, but a lot of people I've been really close with in my life have sort of turned their back on me. So I think a lot of it is defense mechanism. Maybe I'm a bit worried because, like, not in a weird way, but like besides, I don't care. Besides Sarah, like, you guys are my best friends. You know what I mean? Like, and the annoying thing is, like, you're all international. Like, it's wild that the people I've had in front of me in the flesh and
the furthest.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Exactly. I guess a lot of it comes down to my insecurities about that, and I beat myself up about it now because it was me being essentially a bad friend. I felt like I was being a bad friend at that period because I would just jump out and I wouldn't explain myself and I wouldn't give a reason why, and there wouldn't be a reason why. I'll just have a bad day, and it wasn't intentional, but I could see potentially how it could be perceived as like, shit, man don't give a shit about us, you know what I mean? Man don't want to talk to us, and that's not being a good friend, you know what I mean? And that's my mess up. And I've messed up a lot of good things in life, like a lot of people have. Like life is never easy, but I weren't gonna let this mess up forever. I mean, my issues, my last girlfriend, the controlling and everything. But that's regardless. Like, why should I let a woman control how I feel? But it happens, you know what I mean? Like, I just want to be able to realize to myself that, shit, good people are there. Good people are in your life, and don't shit on the people that are there for you, And it's a regret that I feel like I know, like, you guys are cool with me and everything's past it, but it's one of them things that sort of holds with me. Personally, it's like I messed that up, so I feel subconsciously I owe you guys a lot, because that's what the thing you all need to realize is you guys are like so fucking genuine and so like such good people. Like, sometimes I feel like I don't deserve you guys, I'm getting emotional, but that's just who I am, you know what I mean? Like, a lot of people wouldn't forgive that sort of thing or would criticize and ask questions, but you guys were like, Jake, you was going through your thing, and I'm glad you're back, and that means a lot, bro. So
yeah, definitely.
I couldn't ask for better mates from all of you guys,
Yeah, I mean, that's what speak for everyone. I mean, when you left, I mean, everyone was usually always understanding. We never like, oh, there's Jake leaving.
Yeah.
About it. Like, it was always, we figured that something is out. We're gonna let you have your moment. When you're ready to come back, you come back. But the recent one was when it got a little more shaky. The last thing that was really happening in your life, well, along with that, your last relationship was you also had I think it was like 2 friends. I'm not sure, the 2 or 3 of them.
Two. Yes, two.
Yeah,
2. I know you're talking about. Yeah,
you guys went through that, and it's like, to see how, like, it's similar to like how I look at things or how I used to look at things. Like, the people that you throw, like, hey, you, like, my friends are right here, like, y'all literally right here next to me, like, y'all supposed to be my boys, but yet y'all do this to me. And then hey, I got the people who's on the other side of the world who still treats me and assess me for being me and don't do me wrong, type thing. Like, it's like, I understand that too. Like, even at this point in my life, I feel like I'm growing more distant with the people that I grew up with compared to like chilling with y'all and talking to y'all and other people. It's like, before I used to take it serious and used to hold it, like, I ended one of my friendships with Ace a long time ago. Like, I stopped talking to him for like a year because he did something I felt that wronged me. Which low key it was, but it was childish. It was like, like, but then I'm cool with other people from who's all over the world and whatnot. It's like, it lets me know that you don't have to limit yourself to just because, even though my relationship with my friends and my family has shaken, especially during my teen years, like, also just because by getting rid of like I'm getting rid of the idea of having a title of your friends. Like, it's just the bond of what it is, what it is. It's like, just because, you know, you're my cousin or because you're my brother don't mean that the relationship is always going to be like that. Like, we all go through our past and go through what we go through, and sometimes we're just going to drift apart. And it is what it is, but the love will still be there. So
yeah,
I'm not
straight,
holding
yeah.
against them no more. Like, just recently right now, like, they over there having their boys trip, which, you know, I hope they enjoying them. They seem like they enjoying themselves. I'll be watching their videos, seeing, make sure they're good. And, like, you know, I was chilling with y'all the whole time. Like, it was whatever. Like, I wasn't tripping over it. So it was cool. But I was also inspired by a situation which I did the Let You Go song, which the second verse was inspired by that situation with your friends, and also with some people in my life, which, funny enough, me and him had our recent issues, and it kind of like, the song kind of felt like, it was like, I don't know, my music is weird. Like, I write for things that is like, I write for things that are happening now, but I can see it still impacting later in the future. Like, I'll listen to some songs like, I think Suffering off Portraits. Portraits came out in 2017, and I'm talking about how, you know, Mother Nature is being destroyed and people are like being blinded by the media and we living through fear. And then the pandemic happened. And I'm like, bro,
that's wild.
I'm like, yo, it's like I rapped about this.
Crazy, right?
Yeah.
Fate, my brother, fate.
Yeah, we're gonna get into that.
We'll take our time, man. It's all good. I'm quite enjoying this, actually.
But so like I know how to like see things. That's why I'm learning to not trip over things no more, which is good and bad. Cause I haven't. Let me see. Actually, I don't know if I want to announce this on my podcast yet. By the time this episode come out, it would be official.
Hey.
But my situation that you know that I currently moved into, literally. When I was in the process of doing it, and like my realtor and my stepmother and everyone that was helping me and whatever, like everyone was so excited, like, hey, you finally doing this, like, why'd you have it? I'm just saying here, like, yeah, I'm happy, but like my tone and my face expression don't show it, and they think that I'm probably not excited for it. I'm like, you have no clue, I'm so excited for this. But so much stuff is like, my life is always, you know, like the balancing scale, like it's never steady. It's either always gonna drop one way or drop the other way. And I'm like, I'm not gonna, until my feet are here, till I can rest my head here, and like, this is not real to me yet, so I'm not gonna be excited for it yet. I'm excited for the process. I enjoyed the process. I recorded the process, but
until them keys are in your hand.
Yeah, and even when that, I still went through so much stuff. The keys were in my hand, and it still took a month for me to get in.
Make it feel like home, right?
Yeah, not even like just to actually go in there, because I still had to do so much stuff to the place.
Crazy, yeah.
So like, it was so much delays. Originally it was supposed to be done on October last year, meaning if worst came to worst, I should have probably been here December. And it ended up being January, almost February. Like, but whatever.
But look on the bright side of that, bro. Like, that is like such a huge thing in your life, though. Like, I'm so proud of you, because like, you're not even 30 yet, and you're in the property market, bro. That's huge. Yeah, that's crazy. And I'm really proud of you for that, bro.
Yeah, thank you. I'm enjoying this shit a lot. So it's like, but it's still not there yet. Is where we getting there.
Yeah.
But I don't even know what I was trying to get into before I said all of this. But yeah, like,
that's our conversations, man.
Yeah, but it's like not tripping over things no more. Like I said, I used to be very, what's the word? I don't want to say vengeful, bitter, maybe. I don't know. Like whenever like the alphas go and do things and I'm not invited or I'm not included, and I feel like, oh, so y'all just don't whatever. Or what happened with me and my rap group in high school. Like from my point of view, it looks like they all just turned their backs on me and stopped messaging me and like, oh. But as you know, recently with me and Skywalker, like we just happened to end up working in the same spot and we just picked up like we never left off, basically. Like the bond was still there, and so that's why I'm not tripping over it. Like if the bond was genuine and real, we could get back to each other. Like I think it'd still be there, but it's like I'm not going to trip over it if we go silent or whatever.
Yeah. I mean, like you said, it's the bond, bro. Like you've known Ace for a minute, like that bond ain't gonna go anywhere. Like there'll be a time I reckon. I know you said about the alpha cursor. It seems to be like 3 members at a time or something. But,
every time we hang out.
Hopefully one day the alphas will go on a trip together.
Yeah, someday. But yeah. So I mean, we could probably lead into the whole fake thing. I don't even know where to begin. I mean, talking about just to scratch the surface with like me and you, like so a lot of people don't know or whatever. Even Bree and Rose is still like out the loop on it, but me and you have this strong bond over something that I have no business knowing about, which is the Another Hood movie. Well, all the Hood movies. But
bro, you probably watch more UK movies than most UK people. Like, I'm proud of you.
So,
man, like Tyrone,
bruh. So this was before I even joined Amino. I think, I'm not sure, but this should have been before I joined Amino. So this is definitely before me and you ever even spoke. And I was bored. Like I said, it's going back to when I wasn't enjoying my hobbies no more. So I was just like watching whatever. So I was just bored on Netflix, and I kept on seeing like Another Hood there. I'm like, but it wasn't appealing to me because of the picture. So I wasn't giving it a chance. But then I saw Adulthood there, and I'm like, oh, this actually looks a little bit more interesting. So I watched it, and I enjoyed it, and I said I enjoyed Adam Deacon's character a lot. So I was searching up whatever movies he was in. Now, like, oh wait, this fucking movie is here too. He's in. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna give it a shot now. So like, Another Hood. I mean, no, Another Hood. Adulthood. So I was like, oh, he's in that one too. They made a sequel. Cool. All right. So I watched them both, and then it was like, I was there with it. I even tried letting a female that I was talking to at the time like watch it. She couldn't get into it because I'm like, so it's like I couldn't bond over nobody with this. I'm like, I have no business watching this movie in the first place because it's a movie from the UK. It's just like, damn, like this movie, like I'm like, because I don't know how UK people perceive this movie. Like for me, I'm like, yo, this is like an underrated gem, but for you guys, it probably might be the equivalent to Boys of Hood and Friday. I'm like,
really, no, it's got the same. Annoyingly, it is still an underrated gem here. Like, like most people, like, you know, like when they call it From the Ends, you know, the hoods and stuff. They'll all know it, but like everywhere else are a bit clueless. So like, it's definitely a hidden gem. I would say like a lot more people need to watch that movie.
Yeah. So I don't even know how. I probably brought it up just because I figured you. Like I said again, I didn't know, so it was like me throwing the dice and saying, "Hey, look, I know about UK stuff," and you probably looking at me like, "Bro, I don't know what that is either." I'm like, "Oh shit!" but it just so happens that this man loves this shit just as much as I do. I'm like, let's go. So I finally.
That's what I love about us as well. Is like when we met each other, like I feel like we all have in our group, the 4 of us, we all have like, is it 4 of us? Me, is it 4 or 5? 4. Sorry. Yeah, 4. We all have a different bond with each other, and I think that's really cool. Like me and you, we our bond is like we're just bros in it. Like we're into the same games, the same
video games,
like,
wrestling, movies,
to a degree, music.
music.
We all know 2D Sonic's the best, you know.
I don't know about all of that. sound like you was watching WCW. That's what that sounds like.
Oof. Oh no. Definitely not.
But yeah, so like, what are the odds of that? That's also one thing, and I probably even for you, that probably was even more of a shock. Like you're like, damn, like
100%. Like an American who's seen a motherhood is unheard of, bro.
Oh, like damn. So for those who probably don't even know or listening, Another Hood is a movie in the UK that. Basically, if you want to summarize it, think of the Friday movie, where you have the main character. Well, kind of. Where you have the main character who's like someone who wants to be somebody, I guess, and he has his little crew of friends, but they all are like throughout the whole community. Everyone looks down on them, like they know that they aren't nothing. They're not tough. They're not about that life, but they swear they are until they meet the guy who's really about that life and was constantly bullying them, like basically showing them like, yo, you like, y'all wish I could be me, but y'all not me. And it's one of those stories. Eventually, you know, he gets his courage up and people start respecting him and all of that. But yeah, but the reason why cause the thing about UK, or I don't know if it's UK, and because you know when people think of UK, I think of people who just be speaking real proper and all classy and whatnot. Yeah. So then there's the Another Hood side of it, and it's like you guys speak in what would be like quote unquote patois, which is like Jamaican, Island, Caribbean style, and me being Trinidadian, all right, I understand like majority of what you guys are saying, but y'all also have your own slang, you know, saying blood and all of that. So yeah, like being able to recognize like the things you guys are talking about and how you guys act and whatnot, like some of this is stuff that I know. Some of the way you guys speak, I'm familiar with it. Granted, I always grew up not really understanding how like Trinidadians talk. Like when I go to Trinidad, like they be trying to hold conversations with me. I'd be sitting there like, bro, what are you talking about right now? And then I just wait for when they start laughing. They're like, oh, okay, this is my cue to laugh with them. Like I understand what they just said. Like I don't know what you just talked about. All right, dude. But yeah, as I got older, because it's weird, because you would think growing up with your mother, like she speaks with an accent too, but it's not as heavy as the people who's there. So it's
that's wild, yeah.
Yeah, so it's like I'm like, okay, I can't understand what she's speaking, but then it's like when someone else from Trinidad tries to talk to me, I'm like, what? So I was able to understand most of that, what was being said. And like I said, with the music that was being played, I'm like, bro, I know these songs. Like
that's crazy.
Yeah, I'm like, damn, this is craziness. So I was like, and like the soundtrack was solid as hell too. I'm like, oh, this is some good ass song. Like they know what they know about this over there. So it was dope. But yeah, bonded over that movie. Wrestling, Bullet Club stuff.
Always.
Yeah, then what else? Yeah, I think that's scratching the surface on the Faith. What more you want to speak on with Faith?
Bruh, like where to even start? I mean, I feel the best place to really start is the most recent one. Is how are you explaining the coincidence of the one day we start talking is the day after, or the day was it the day on the podcast of Bree and Rose?
The day we finished recording it.
Yeah.
Message. I saw your message.
I mean, that seems like fate to me, bro. I mean, yeah. I almost feel like, considering someone who's like a heavy fan of The Matrix, that you don't see fate quite as strongly as I do. Because I feel like Matrix is like real
I believe in
faith-based.
faith too, but so also I like to believe in like. I also want to believe in free will as well.
Yeah.
Like not everything was so fated, like because that's my only reason with like even I don't. It's not that I hate or disagree or agree with the Bible, but my only reason why I don't give it too many stock is like if the Bible is literally word for word what it is, and you're literally saying like, oh, this is gonna happen. Like the Bible literally is basically telling us how life on Earth is gonna be before we even get there, and I'm like, this does not sound like like. What's the point of trying then if we know how this is going to go? Yeah. So it's like I try to figure out multiple things that's going on in life and base my own like educated guess and solution on what this really is. But I do believe in like faith in sometimes, but sometimes the problem with faith as well, like I mentioned with one situation, is the purpose of it. Like, all right, this was fated to happen, but I see it meaning that it was supposed to happen this way because this is supposed to happen. But somebody else say, no, this happened because this was supposed to happen. I'm like, what? Like, so is that fate or is that... Like, what is that? So, yeah.
I guess different perceptions of fate, I guess.
Yeah.
Like, I guess fate is, like, comparable to religion, really. I mean, like, it could exist, it couldn't exist, you know? Like,
yeah.
I guess it's like some kind of belief in something, you know, a bit higher above us going on.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely believe in something existing above us, but...
Yeah.
The thing about that, the even more crazy thing about faith, it was like, because I mean, you like I said, you wasn't around for the whole year, but like me, Bree, and Rose, like we didn't talk as frequently as like we have been once you came back. So that podcast in itself was, in a sense, fate, because you already know timing wise, like to get all three of us at the same time.
Yeah.
And at the time, I didn't really have anything to talk. Like I said, we literally did the episode the day because my last guest, who was supposed to be on that episode, basically MIA, like last minute type thing.
Yeah.
So I'm like, yo, I had nothing to talk about. I hit up the channel, like, yo, I need some topics to talk about, and they didn't really have nothing. Then I was like, then I'm like, so you guys want to join? Bree was the only one who was up at the time. Bree and Rose was up. We talked about this the day before, and they were like, yeah, whatever, we could do it. And I'm like, all right, I'll figure something out just in case. But I couldn't figure nothing out. And then that day I was like, all right, it was just me and Bree up. And I'm like, you still want to do it? Like, yeah, cool, all right. So as I'm setting up the podcast, then Rose with the good morning text, I'm like, oh, Rose is here, great. And it happens to be a day that she didn't have to go to work or whatever the case was, or she just had time before she went to work, and she just hopped on and became a trooper.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, so here we are all together again. I mean, I don't even know when the last time we all did a call together, like prior to you leaving. So let alone just having to do that podcast was a reunion in itself. And then right after that, as soon as we finished the recording, then boom, this man comes. I'm like, bro,
what up, bro?
Like, man, you don't get out of it. No, stop. Over here trying to freaking make this a special moment. But yeah, it's dope. What other moments for you felt like happened that was fate?
Oh, give me a second to think on that. Oh, I'll make myself look silly, yeah? I'd say the last time Fate happened was before meeting you guys, was probably meeting my Canadian ex-girlfriend. Reason I say that, it was kind of a similar thing. This was just before meeting you guys, so I was dating this girl for probably about 6 months, and the way it happened was it was the beginning of my sort of breakdown, I guess. This is when I was on Facebook and stuff, and I was on a BPD support group, and there was like chats going on in there, and she just started talking to me, and then we connected again. She was such a lovely woman, but I felt like it was fate, because at that point I really just needed someone who sort of cared, you know what I mean? Because this was like almost directly after like all the stuff that happened with me in my life. So I feel, and also the timing as well, it was like a couple of months after breaking up with her, I met you guys. It was almost like I had a couple of months where I had to sort of do some form of recovery before going into meeting you guys.
Yeah, I feel that. I think I kind of like mentioned something similar, but like in a different perspective, like just the fate of like how I just got over my situation. I'm finally like accepting myself and being comfortable with myself, and I'm like, all right, I want to start doing things different now. I want to start like being more aware of my relationships with people and whatever. So I don't want to put too much things on certain people. Let me try to branch out. And then, hey, I'm in this group talking to you guys, and then it's like, oh, there's I would DM Bree because she was always never talking in the groups, and I learned some stuff about her. I'm like, oh, okay. That sucks, but not like not an asshole, but like hearing that she was gonna be things, like, okay. Rose, we all know Rose as usually just being the cherry one, always cool. We rarely
Rose
see
is
her
lovely. I love
ever.
Rose.
Yeah, like we don't even know if anger exists in her type thing. Like she's one of those people. But
I don't think it does.
Yeah, then learning that she has her things. Then you, I'm like, oh, learning you had your things. Then Click, I'm like, oh my god, I'm like, and I felt, I mentioned like to sync on that before. Like I felt wrong, but it felt like it had to be done in a sense. Like it was a call, and like I don't know anything about this because I'm just now getting to the stage. I finally just got my foot into the door. Like I didn't even get a chance to browse the room yet, but I gotta get you guys into this house now.
Yes.
So it's like,
the way you're talking about it like that, it's like we were all going through some issues. To you, even yourself, to a degree, you was a lot more ahead of us with progress with yourself, but yeah, it's almost like we all bonded over a very similar. We bonded over the worst stuff ever, you know what I mean? But it made the bond really strong.
Like we all knew the worst in each other, and it was like, hey, let's uplift each other. That's what it is. That we all, like, we're all just basically like. I'm trying to think of that. You know when you like when you cross your arms in front of each other, but you hold hands with whoever's next to you, and you're like, I kind of make that lock. Yeah, it's like one of those. it's like,
definitely.
Here we are to support each other. This is our link. This is our chain. One of us is down. We all try to be there for one another.
Yeah, straight up.
So it's like it was interesting because it was like I said, like, one of the reasons why I did the podcast as well. Like I want to have the voice or be that voice that I wish I had. Like I didn't have,
definitely.
Like, as much as I've been rapping and I would do things or say things that would make you look like, bro, what's wrong with this man? And it's like those were my cry for help, but no, I was too prideful or whatever to just say, yo, something is wrong with me.
Yeah.
So
it's hard sometimes though, isn't it? Especially like I feel like almost like the fact that at first we didn't know really each other, so almost like I feel maybe the fact that we were almost anonymous to each other sort of helped that.
Yeah, definitely. And yeah, like it's just getting to the point where Bree deflected and everyone trying to get everyone's helping up. Like though Joseph because I was trying to put myself as the person I don't have nothing to hide. I will be real with anyone. That's always been me. I don't like the idea of lying or whatever. Because growing up, I have people that are notorious for being liars or whatever.
Yeah.
I learned from people as I grew up, and I know what I want to be and what not to be. So I carry myself in a certain way.
Yeah.
And it's I got no problem telling you guys, even though, like you said, we anonymous, you guys are some of y'all across the planet. It's it's whatever. Here's what's going on with me. Even before I was putting all my information out in blogs and whatnot, sharing photos of myself. I didn't care. Bro, this, I need to,
exactly,
cause it's either this or I'm going to put all of this that I've been putting on you guys and in the groups and in the blogs. This is all going to go to one person. And me and that person already just went through our rocky situation, and I do not want that to happen again.
Yeah, I feel that. I feel that. That was very similar to me with Sarah.
Yeah. So either that or one person is going to be hearing all of this.
Yeah, straight. I can totally relate with that, bro.
So it was cool. But speaking with that person, that was, in my point of view, fate. And I mean, she sees it that way too, but like I said, that got to the point where, why was it fate? So, in her point of view, she felt that our role or our purpose of why we became cool in the first place is already accomplished. And in my point of view, I feel like we're nowhere near close. So that's where it's damn, the way it happened, it was I was in the point of my life where I was turning my back on just about everything, and she just appears. And what's more crazy, that she is a mutual friend of Ace, which I said, a lot of people, if you know anything about me and Ace, especially during those the early 2010 era, we were inseparable. We always play games together, we go somewhere together. When it comes to the digital world, we always a pair. So for this person to be always out, somehow we always missed each other, because they known each other for a couple of years or so, I would say, before me and her ever met. So for her to constantly miss me, that's weird. And when in a way, when I kind of needed someone like her the most, that's when she popped up.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
And through that friendship, I learned a lot about myself, learned how to start caring about myself and carrying myself differently. And even, like I said, even when I stopped talking to her, it was that needed to happen too. Because I need to look at things from her perspective and my perspective. I'm all right, I think it makes sense now. If I look at it this way, I can't be upset with her. But I didn't reach out to her first. She reached out to me, and I was oh, it just happened to be that we need to reconnect now. It was she knew, oh, he should be good now. Let me reach out to him. And I'm oh, what do you know? I just happened to be good. How did you know? So yeah, it's crazy.
But it's good to have a friendship like that, though. Keeps you going, you know what I mean? Yeah. But in a strange parallel, I mean, there's a lot of comparisons here, because again, it was similar. If you spoke to Sarah, when we were growing up, we had the same group of friends. We had different groups of friends, right? But when I was with one group of friends, she was with another. And then when I was going to see the other group of friends, she'll be with another. So we'd always miss each other when we'd go out and chill with our mates, but we'd always hear each other's name. And so it was weird when we eventually popped back into each other's lives. It was really odd. But again, Yeah, being Sarah, I don't regret it. I mean, things happen, but we got a son out of it. You know, fate. I had the best son in the world. I can't be happier. You know what I mean?
Yeah, which is
and I got an incredible friend from it as well.
It's also another thing, and it's like so going back into like relating to like not. I don't want to say comparing, but like just seeing like my journey and like all the stuff you went through. But on top of that, you also have another being to care for and provide for. It's like for you to go through all you went through and still be here is like that's something in itself. Like that's very dope of you for like, even though like like we don't mind. That's why I said we don't mind you vanishing and whatnot, because we know like you're gonna do what you gotta do to be good, and then more importantly, you're gonna do what you gotta do to make sure that he's good. And it's like we're just gonna be here, bro. Like we ain't going nowhere. Like even if you didn't have to talk to me or whatever, you know, some way or another, I'm here. Either you find, I wonder if Rome put out a new song. Oh, I wonder if he uploaded a video on YouTube. Oh, another podcast. Like I exist on the internet one way or another.
Yeah, for sure.
Like I'm here.
I feel like again, almost, you know, like now we've sort of reunited again. And like you said, it's been really quiet for a while. Now it feels like the group's sort of back together. And I've noticed all of us, looking at where we started 4 years ago and looking at where we all individually are now, we have all progressed so much, and it's so good to see. You know what I mean? Like, you've got yourself on the property market. You got yourself a nice stable job. Bree's got a partner. She's got a beautiful daughter. Rose, I think she's moved in with Fort Boo, but she's got a partner now. She's doing well. I'm finally heading upwards. You know, I'm really happy that, you know, we've gone from such big lows, and now we can look back and we're so much further than we was, which is lovely.
Yeah, crazy. That's like, damn. Yeah, definitely been. Oh man, just thinking about like my past. I used to do some wild stuff like to avoid people. Like I really wanted to be shut in for like all my life type thing. Oh god, but yeah, man, I'm definitely just glad and proud of like everything that we all been through and that we're all still here. Like I mentioned, like yeah, my extended family in a sense. Like even though, like I said, like
for real.
Even though I have the alphas and whatnot, like I haven't really like spoke to them like that lately. And then even on top of that, then they went on their trip, and like even more so that I can't speak to them. But like you guys are here, like I'm not tripping over it. Like it's not they're not my only group of friends in my life or whatever. It's like I got these dudes here, and like this is my sacred friendship here. Like they don't, like they may know about y'all existence one way or another, but it's like it's never like a mix type thing. Like we can't have one without the other type thing.
No, absolutely, yeah.
So it's definitely dope. And like again, like we mentioned, 4 years, like that's literally high school, bro. Like
it'll be another 1 year. After 5 years, that'll basically be what we call, I think it's the equivalent of high school, secondary school, which is, it's wild because those years for me dragged, bro. So it feels like I've only known you guys for about a year. It's gone so quick.
Craziness. Like, yeah, it really did feel like, I don't know, it felt like it's forever, but also felt like it was like, no, it was just the other day when we was on the, like, jumping to Discord and jumping to WhatsApp and just like doing all like, hey, but it's like, damn, we really sit there and look at like, shit, like some of us were still in a sense kids when we met. Like,
considering the journeys we've been on, in a lot of ways.
Like we're literally watching all of us grow, and the people that surround us in our lives grow and whatnot. Like seeing pictures of your son, like when he was younger to now, from
it's wild, right?
From Bree just being single, whatnot. To next thing, now we're seeing her when we video chat, and we're not seeing her with her daughter. Like, bro,
that's crazy, brilliant.
That's life. It's the same. It's also the same thing about the alpha. Like Sarge had his son. Like, he's also someone like more so Ace, because that's mainly his, that's his bro type thing. But like, I've been around just as long to see, like, I probably like knew him, like, I would say like 2 years or so after they already been cool.
Yeah.
So like, it wasn't that long, but we were teens, like young teens, like pre-teens maybe, when we freaking met. And then to see him, like, he moved to Texas and he settled down with his girl and got a family, providing, and I'm like, damn, bro, like, we ain't just high schoolers on Xbox no more, wondering when we gonna play Gears of War. Just like,
the good days, man.
Yeah, like, I mean, I don't try to put the whole, like, getting old thing, but it's like, it's like we're growing, like,
that's the way to put it.
Like, we're growing, like, we all experiencing new things, and more people coming into the journey. Like, there's people who wasn't there when we started in high school, who's here now, that we hold them just as close. So it's like, yeah, just nice to see the journey and everything.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Jeez. I was looking at my phone too a little bit earlier. I think Rose just woke up. Speaking of.
Hey.
Yeah, I mean, if there's anything else you want to speak on, we could wrap it up if you want. I just appreciate that we were able to do this. Like, good to have you back here. And yeah,
I'm grateful. I'm very grateful to be back. You know what I mean? Like, I'm glad I could finally do the pod as well. Like, it's been brilliant. Like, a lot of good memories.
Definitely. And I mean, well, you know me, there's a lot of things I want us to do, not even just me and you, but also with the group. Like, me and my creative demon.
Yes.
I just want everyone to do stuff, but yeah, it's like,
I'm getting on that, bro.
Who knows where things can go, guys? So be on the lookout for anything new that ends up happening. But this is just getting our foot into the door and warming up. But I think that's good. Talked enough. Craig kind of slipped on us, but hopefully I can fix up whatever that happened there. But yeah, so before all of the outro stuff, as always, I like to end the podcast with my little question of the day, and I like to give my guests the floor. So anything you want to ask the listeners out there for the question of the day?
Ooh. I have been pre-warned about this, and I have been thinking, but I want to keep it. No, you know what? We'll keep it in line. A nice, simple one. Have any of you lovely listeners out there had any experience with fate? Back me up here, guys.
You guys have it. People who believe in faith, free will, whatever. But yeah, going before I even end this though, it feels weird on my end. Even though this is what I wanted, I want to start. I want more guests, but it has been a while since I did a solo episode. I feel like whoever listens to me for me, felt like, damn, like I've been out the loop. Like I haven't talked about myself lately. I mean, I don't know. I think this is good because I don't want to. I don't know. This is the reason why I changed my podcast to bi-weekly, because I was drowning myself out with trying to come up with things to talk about. So it's nice to have people to come and share their experiences and their point of views on things that I probably talked about or touched on before. So that's good. But whenever the next solo podcast come out, I'll be sure to give any updates or whatever. But yeah, so you guys have it. Appreciate you coming on here, Jake.
Always, my brother. Anytime.
Yeah, and hope you guys enjoyed what you heard. Hope you guys enjoyed this podcast. Be sure to share this, rate it, whatever. Help us grow. And yeah, hope you guys have a great day and a great week. Peace.
Peace out.